Welcome to a special mini episode of Herself. This recording comes from my bi-monthly Herself Live series on Instagram, where I share short, impactful teachings rooted in internal family systems, intuitive business strategy, and spiritual wisdom for female entrepreneurs. Now, these live sessions are designed to inspire and support you in aligning your business with your true self, your most powerful, authentic, and grounded identity. You can join me for Herself Live on Instagram at Sarah Avant Stover every other Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. And here is the most recent recording. Let's begin. Welcome to Herself, a space for women to have deep conversations about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential, so you can become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. After being in business for over 2 decades, I've learned, as you likely have too, that as you grow your business grows you in unexpected, often challenging, yet miraculous ways. Here, we'll talk about how to get out of your own way so you can grow a business that's abundant and sustainable while allowing you to be a force for good in the world. I'll give you simple, actionable strategies as well as wisdom and inspiration to help you root into your wholeness, lead from your values, and work in ways that feel deeply aligned so you can bring your true self into the world through your business and in every area of your life. You may be hearing from my voice. I'm not sick anymore, but I was sick a couple of weeks ago, and it's just taking some time to work its way through my voice, especially in the morning. But I wanted to just start out our first Herself Live by naming my intentions for creating this. And first and foremost, I wanted to create a space where here we're going to meet bi-monthly, so every other Tuesday-ish, where we can connect more in real time. I connect with you each week in my weekly podcast, and I connect most weeks with women in my program, Sorcerer CEO, but I also wanted to create space for us to connect more as a community outside of those. And then the second thing is just to lean into my own growing edge. I've been on Instagram for many years, and I felt comfortable with Instagram stories and now Instagram Reels and of course regular posts, but I haven't really stepped into doing Instagram Live. So it's also me leaning into my own growth edge and getting more comfortable doing something a little bit different. And so I invite you just to feel into those two things for your own work in the world. Number one, how can you create more spaces for live real-time connection with your community, whomever it is you serve? And two, how can you lean into something that maybe you haven't done before? And that's going to require a little bit of a learning curve in order for you to step into it and to grow that proficiency with whatever it is. So today, I want to dive into the talk for today. And I want to start out by reading a quote from A Course in Miracles. And here's the workbook for A Course in Miracles. And just to say that in some of these quotes I'm going to share, there's reference to the word God. And to say that these are not religious quotes. These are metaphysical, speaking to the nature of existence. And if the word God is triggering for you, replace it with a word that resonates with you, that speaks to your own higher power. And in IFS, God is known as Big Self. And in other words, or spirit or source, but you know what I mean, right? So here is that quote from A Course in Miracles. Who would attempt to fly with the tiny wings of a sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle has been given her? Read that again. Who would attempt to fly with the tiny wings of a sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle has been given her? So this quote reminds us of our true potential. I want to share another quote that's actually opens up my second book, the Book of She. And this is from Psalm 46:5. God is within her. She will not fail. God is within her. She will not fail. So I wanted to start out with these two quotes to really highlight our sense of identity. Where is it that we are rooting our sense of self? And particularly in business and in leadership, are you rooting yourself in your highest self? Or are you rooting your sense of self-identity in the small self? So are you relating to yourself as the sparrow? Or are you relating to yourself as that mighty and noble eagle? So here are some things that we can look out for. When we are relating as a sparrow, we are in our small self. There's nothing wrong with this. This is part of the human journey, right? But some signposts of this is we feel fear. And not just that we feel fear, but we are kind of controlled by that fear. We're not stepping forward courageously in the face of that fear. We're not meeting that fear inside with compassion. We feel self-doubt. We are playing small. And we might be overrun with internal messages like, I don't know how to do this. I can't do this. People are going to judge me. What are people thinking about me? I don't know enough. I'm not good enough. And in IFS, these voices, we say they're coming from younger parts of us. And as that quote from A Course in Miracles speaks to, those voices are related to us identifying as that little sparrow. So let's contrast that with your true self, with your highest self, with the eagle. And the spiritual path, and I'd also say the path of spiritual entrepreneurship, where we bring our highest self, where we bring our soul's deepest gifts through to be of service to the world, is about learning how to rest our awareness and to reroute our identity so that it resides in our true identity, our true self, not just on the meditation cushion, not just on the yoga mat, not just when we're on retreat, not just when we're feeling good, but all the time when we're doing administrative tasks in our business, when we are posting on social media, when we are writing copy for a sales page or a newsletter. We want to root into that vast strength of the eagle. And remembering also this other quote, God is within her, she will not fail. So when we are identifying with the small self, we have very limited resources available to us. We only have the resources that we're aware of and that we think are possible for us. But when we are rooting into our true self, we have the resources of all of existence, of multi-universes, of the force of creation that brought us and everything we see around us into being. That is so much more than we can grasp with our own individual, isolated sense of self. So what can help you to remember this? Because even if you're not feeling it, even when you feel like you're in that small self, like you feel scared, you feel a lot of self-doubt, just remembering it helps. Remembering who you really are. So how can we kind of shape our days, shape our work life to help us to remember this? Well, one, daily practice is essential. So daily practice, ideally in the morning, ideally before you get on your phone, before you open up your computer, taking some time in meditation, absolutely essential. Meditation is the most potent way to connect with your highest self. And even just 5 minutes, we can all manage even just 5 minutes. You can do it before you even get out of bed. Prayer or just divine communication for when you feel like you are kind of in the weeds, and just speaking to your higher power or your highest self. Please guide me, or please give me the courage today to show up and do what I need to do. Please give me the inspiration that I need to write this newsletter. So learning to really more actively call on unseen support. If we don't ask for help, we cannot receive it. Moving slowly enough to notice, to catch when we are identifying with the sparrow versus the eagle. And getting more support when you need to, when you really, really feel like you're just trapped in the identity of that little sparrow. And if you need getting support or even listening to something like this to expand our awareness and simply to remember. So I want to close today by just turning this back onto you and offering you a moment of reflection to ask, where are you noticing your small self, your young, scared, insecure parts showing up in your business this week? What are the activities? What are the moments that you're sensing that you're sensing just an awareness that's rooted in the sparrow rather than the eagle? And what might it look like to choose the eagle instead? Or even just to choose to remember that you are actually soaring with the mighty wings of an eagle, not the little tiny wings of a sparrow. So this week, I invite you to start each day by rooting into your true self, ideally with meditation, but I trust that you have a pathway, you have a practice that best helps you to do that. Whatever it is, start each day this week with that. And remember, you are the eagle. You are not the sparrow. God is within you. You will not fail. Thank you for joining me today. And remember, change doesn't come from listening alone. I invite you to commit to taking one small or large courageous action after today's conversation. One step you can take, if you haven't already, is to sign up for my Sunday journal. It's a weekly newsletter filled with inspiration and reflections about the intersection between spiritual entrepreneurship and fulfilling your potential to help you become the woman you truly are in every area of your life. You can subscribe at programs-sarahavaughnstover.com/journal. And if you found this podcast valuable, please share it with the women in your world. Also, I'd be very grateful if you'd leave a review. It helps others find resources like this, and I'd love to hear what's coming alive for you after listening today. Above all, keep going, and never forget the unique offerings you and your true self bring to the world. Until next time, I'm sending you my heartfelt support.